If you want to become a business owner in the future, you must watch this video. If you want to change your life in the coming years, if you want to break free from the cycle of waiting for your paycheck every month, if you want to own your own business, if you want to be the one who decides how you spend your time, how much you earn, and the direction of your life, then please watch this video all the way to the end. Because what I'm about to share isn't some fantasy about getting rich overnight, nor is it the kind of thing you hear online every day. Just believe in yourself and you'll succeed. That sounds nice, but it doesn't actually help you at all. What I want to talk about today is how an ordinary American without connections, a wealthy family, or an investment background can truly develop an entrepreneurial mindset. Because the reality is, most people don't fail because they lack ability. They fail because from the very start, they don't understand what true entrepreneurship actually is. Many people ask me, I want to start a business, but I don't know what to do. Which industries are profitable right now? With the rise of AI, what opportunities are left? Should I open a shop? Should I quit my job to start a business? But let me tell you something. When someone keeps asking which industry makes money, it shows their mindset is still stuck at the employee level. Because what an employee looks for is a good job. But what an entrepreneur looks for is an unsolved problem. These are two completely different worlds. True entrepreneurship never starts by asking, what do I want to sell? Instead, it starts by asking, what are people struggling with? Because at their core, all great companies exist to solve problems. Amazon didn't start because Bezos wanted to sell books. It started because he realized the internet was transforming business, and people would increasingly get used to buying things online. Airbnb didn't start because the founders wanted to run a hotel. It started because they realized many travelers needed more affordable, authentic accommodation experiences. Uber didn't start because someone wanted to create a ride-hailing app. It started because they saw the traditional taxi industry was incredibly inefficient. So remember this one thing: wealth always flows to those who solve problems. What is the biggest problem for most ordinary people? It's not a lack of opportunities. It's not knowing how to spot them. Opportunities don't just stand in front of you every day saying, hello, I'm a business opportunity worth $100,000. They are usually hidden in customer complaints. Look at the comments section. Look for gaps or pain points in an industry. Focus on the areas others find troublesome, inconvenient, or uncomfortable. That is where the real money lies. For example, a small business owner spends 5 hours a day handling customer emails. You automate the process for them. That's an opportunity. An elderly person doesn't know how to use a smartphone. You provide technical assistance. That's an opportunity. A local restaurant doesn't know how to do social media marketing. You manage their accounts. That's an opportunity. Entrepreneurship isn't about creating demand. It's about discovering it. If you currently lack capital, lack connections, and lack investor backing, don't waste time fantasizing right away about an office, employees, a fancy website, high-end equipment. These things look like entrepreneurship, but often they just satisfy your own vanity. Truly smart entrepreneurs choose a different path first. Low-cost validation. Many successful American companies started out very simply. Facebook began as just a campus website. Apple started by assembling computers in a garage. Nike began as a small shoe-selling business. Before becoming giants, many major companies went through a phase of using minimal funds, testing an idea, finding that first customer, proving people were willing to pay, and time scaling up. So, if I had to start all over again today, assuming I have no money, no connections, no background, what would I do? The first thing, I wouldn't rush into starting a business. I would enter an industry first. Why? Because insiders always spot opportunities more easily than outsiders. If you want to get into the restaurant business, don't rent a storefront on day one. Go work in a restaurant first. Observe how the kitchen operates, why customers complain, where the owner makes money, where costs are wasted. If you want to get into e-commerce, don't stock up on inventory immediately. Research first. Which products sell well? Why customers buy them? How competitors market them? If you want to get into consulting, observe first. What problems business owners are actually willing to pay to solve. Many people fail, but many people don't realize this. The truly difficult part of starting a business is never the beginning. It is the persistence required to keep going. On the day you start, you might be full of passion. You think, I'm going to change my life. I'm going to be my own boss. I'm going to prove myself. But 3 months later, when reality sets in, no customers, no revenue, no recognition, facing a barrage of problems every day. For many, that initial passion slowly fades away. This is why most startups fail. It isn't because they lack ability. It is because they cannot weather the phase where there is no feedback. You must understand one fact. In the early stages of a startup, your greatest enemy isn't the competition. It is uncertainty. You don't know if there is a market for your product, if customers will buy it, when revenue will grow, when your efforts will yield results. And the hardest thing for the average person to accept is this. There is a time lag between effort and reward. Many people are accustomed to the standard employment model. You work for a month. You get paid at the end of the month. There is a clear link between effort and income. But entrepreneurship is completely different. You might work hard for 6 months straight and still have zero revenue. But then suddenly, one day, a customer appears, an opportunity arises, a video goes viral, and the whole situation begins to change. That is entrepreneurship. It isn't a straight line of upward growth. It is more like groping your way through the dark until you find the exit. That is why truly exceptional entrepreneurs possess one specific ability. It is called delayed gratification. They don't give up just because there are no immediate results, nor do they get carried away just because they make a little money in the short term. Instead, they focus on whether the endeavor will hold value in 3 years, whether it will build up momentum over 5 years, whether it can become an asset 10 years down the line. Take, for example, something many young Americans are doing right now, building a personal brand. In the past, people thought only celebrities, only entrepreneurs, only public figures needed to build a personal brand. But things are completely different now. Ordinary person can become a brand too. You could be a fitness trainer, a renovation worker, a programmer, a teacher, a barista. As long as you can consistently deliver value, people will want to follow you. Why? Because in this day and age, people aren't just buying products. What they are buying is trust. In the past, consumers trusted advertisements. Now, consumers place more trust in real people, real experiences, real stories. This is why many small businesses are outperforming traditional large corporations on social media. Because large companies can only tell people, our product is excellent. But personal brands can tell people why I do this, what I've been through, how I can help you solve problems. That is connection. If you have no money today, no resources, but you do have a smartphone, the internet, the ability to learn, the ability to execute,